Now we're back in the kitchen. It's time to take on the sweet tooth.
Indeed, Shane Smith has stayed with us. So it's a lemon and raspberry drizzle loaf.
A drizzle loaf, indeed. Very simple, very easy, lovely this time of year as well. So we'll get cracking straight away, and I'll just show you how easy it is. We're going to start here with some butter and sugar. I've left the big trusted mixer at home today. I said I'd downsize today for this.
Came on your bike, did you?
Yeah, I cycled in.
The less noisy version. So just butter and sugar.
Butter and sugar. Room temperature butter leaves it a lot easier as well. So we're just going to mix that up, and I might get one of you actually to add a little bit of egg gradually. And I will.
Tommy.
That's the one. So
right in?
yeah, it's not all of it now. Well, like a steady pour.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
More?
That's it. Yeah, you keep going. Yeah, we'll not stop. Beautiful job. That's not your first time.
Tommy.
Well done.
I know what.
You'll be taking tomorrow off now because of that. So you can see
overtime.
Overtime is right.
That's not in the contract. That's the union when you want them.
So now, as you can see there, we have a lovely smooth paste. Thanks again, Tommy. And what we're going to do is we're going to add self-raising flour to this, some lemon zest, and then the last minute we're going to fold in some raspberries to it as well. So again, it's your plain kind of, I suppose, drizzle cake with a little kind of elevation again. With
So that's just the skin of the lemon, is it?
The skin of the lemon zest again. Yeah. Just be careful too. I have a little kind of a microplane zester here, but if you've got
well,
that's the fancy one, you know.
If you value your fingers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've all
drizzle cake. How did you get that sort of moist?
I get word, yeah, that's just the M-bomb.
Yeah.
It's
okay when you're talking about cakes.
Cakes is okay. It's pouring the liquid on top of the cake after it bakes. So what we do then, we'll have a nice syrup here done with lemon juice, sugar, a tiny bit of water, and then as the cake comes out of the oven when it's warm, then we pour that over it and let it sit.
That was a good question, Tommy.
Yeah. I was actually I was building up towards that one, but we can stand in silence.
He stole your money shot.
Yeah.
Well, it's how you judge a drizzle cake.
Yeah, it's just
by its moistness.
By its moistness.
There we go. So as you can see here, nice and creamy. You can add in a bit of vanilla if you want at this stage. I don't think you need it. You want the kind of lemon to kind of shine through. So again, just be careful when you're zesting your lemon. You don't want to go too far down on the lemon, because if you get into the white part, it's quite bitter as well, and it'll leave the cake a little sharp too. So we have the zest in there, and then we're adding in our self-raising flour. And again, that's what will give it the little kick in the oven too that's needed. So again, fold it in. You don't want to overwork the cake. Sometimes, I suppose, in baking, when you see a cake or a loaf, when it rises up, it peaks, it's got a little point on top. It just means that your batter has been initially overworked at this stage here. So you don't want to, I suppose...
Does that apply to bread as well?
It depends if it's going to be yeast bread, not so much, because you can work it as much as you want.
Well, my wife makes a delicious, may I say, loaf. It's like a brown loaf with apricots and seeds and things in it. But she's found...
Peaks.
I was asking you, darling. She found it does rise a little too much out of the tin, you know, so it could come up too far.
So that's either probably a raising agent. This is on the spot now again. I'm sure it's lovely.
That's Tommy for you.
Doing a clinic here today.
I think it's either probably then a raising agent issue, or maybe there's too much batter actually in the tin. So maybe invest in a bigger tin.
So less is more.
Well,
or more is less.
I don't complain anyway.
Exactly.
You know your place, young Tommy.
Yeah, no.
So next in here we have the raspberries. So at this point again, important not to completely mash it up.
Them up.
You know what I mean? You kind of want a little bit of off texture in there as well. So you just fold that around.
Raspberries and lemon go nice.
Do you remember as a young fella when your mother was baking and you wanted to get the bowl afterwards?
Oh, yeah.
You put it in so you could eat the...
and lick the
bowl,
mixer as well.
Exactly.
There was no fear of eggs back then, was there?
No.
Done us no harm. I suppose I stopped growing then, but you know what I mean? There's a knock-on effect.
I don't know if there's no harm, but...
So again...
Dr. Ava back on.
Exactly, yeah.
Stop doing that!
I was hiding from that segment completely. All sugar was underneath here as well.
That, yeah, we was wrong man in for Dr. Ava.
So we had asparagus on the first segment.
Exactly, yeah. That's all you saw.
Yeah. That was it. So what we've done here then, just move this over, we have just, again, lined the tin. As you can see, lovely texture there as well. So what you want to put this into an oven about 150. You don't want your oven too hot, because what's happened is then your cake's going to go really brown and the middle of the cake's not going to cook.
Right.
So you kind of like
nice
slow and
low
steady.
heat,
So about...
And you leave it at rough and...
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
It'll all level out as it bakes. So that goes in at 150 for about, depending on your oven, about 45 minutes.
Lovely.
You know what I mean? Just kind of skewer it in then as well. So when that comes out of the oven,
finished product,
you've got your nice kind of cake, which is kind of settled. Ideally, leave it sitting out for about 5 minutes after you take it out of the oven. And then what you're doing here is you've got your lemon juice, your sugar, and then you just literally spoon that.
And how much do you spoon on?
All of it.
All of it?
Yeah, exactly.
It drinks it up really, does it?
It soaks it all in. And then the secret to this is not to be impatient and try and cut it straight away. Let it sit for about an hour. Ideally the following day. You can put it into an airtight container and it will will, it just kind of firms back up again. So
Lovely.
you are, I suppose, a little bit going, God, it's a lot of liquid, but it does soak it all up. So we're just going to let that one soak here. And then we have
the finished product.
finished one here.
And this one, you've let this sit
This
overnight.
one sit, and yes, exactly. So I kind of soaked that one last night. And then just some raspberries on top, a little bit of the lemon zest, a little dusting of icing sugar. That's absolutely beautiful. Whether you're having afternoon tea, if you're having people over to visit, it's really
Cut
it's
it,
a
cut it,
simple
cut it.
one. And we keep
You
the
can have first taste.
Oh, can I, Tommy?
Yeah.
we keep the
I'm
heel.
feeling
on.
generous.
He's never
today.
been this generous before.
So you can see there maybe from the
Oh, yeah, it's
angle of
beautiful, isn't it? Yeah.
the raspberries there, you get a nice kind
Go on,
of
give
a
me a
marbling
taste
effect. So I'm going with a wedge. I think I'm going to go to wedge on this one here.
Half that now. You're a
Look
good man.
at that, a doorstop.
Yeah, we
you.
have dainty slices. Just I might as well join you as well.
That is moist.
You never say that to me again. Up next, Shane, delicious. Great stuff today. Up next, the legend that is horse trainer Jessica Harrington on her amazing year. Back in 3 minutes.